Hello students, welcome to RD Chemistry. In this video, I'm going to explain the synopsis part of these P block elements. Now here I'm going to explain briefly the synopsis part from the second PUC, that is the class 12, group number 15, 16, 17 and 18. If you're watching for the first time, please do subscribe RD Chemistry channel. That is the YouTube channel, Telegram channel, and also you can follow me on the Instagram. Okay, right? Now, we'll see the group number 15 elements. General formula is the NH2, NP3, right? There are 5 valence electrons. 5 valence electrons. That means when I write nitrogen, the first element nitrogen here, I can write 5 dots represent the valence electron, correct? You know that Lewis symbols. We have got next element of phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Okay. Arsenic and antimony are the metalloids. First two are the non-metals, and bismuth is a metal. That means down the group, the metallic character increases, right? Now, about the oxidation state, so remember it can show -3, +3, and +5. So that is based on the NH2 and say NP3. So we have got 2 + 3, 5 electron. Shortage of 3. If I make 3 more electron, that becomes 8 electron. So adding electron, gain electron, -3 state. It can lose electrons from the NP3. So therefore it can show +3, loss of electron. And altogether it can lose a 3 + 2, can show +5 state. Now the stability of +5 oxidation state decreases, and that of the +3 increases. Remember, this is because of the inert pair effect down the group. Nitrogen can show maximum. What is the valency? Maximum of 4. That means it can form maximum 4 bonds around the nitrogen. Why 4 bonds? So when you write the electron configuration, we write 1s2, 2s2, and 2p3, correct? And 2d does not exist. That means we have got only one type of s orbital, and you know that there are 3 types of p orbital. So maximum number of orbitals available for bonding is 4. They can form 4 bonds. So only for nitrogen can show maximum 4, and phosphorus can have 5 also, because if I go for phosphorus, we can have 3d orbitals, and 3d orbitals can be involved in the hybridization, right? Clear? Next one. Now reacted towards hydrogen. So they can form nitrogen reacts to the hydrogen to give ammonia, NH3, PH3, ASH3, SPH3, and BH3. Now all these contains a lone pair of electron. Therefore, they should be basic in nature, and moreover, these are called as the Lewis spaces. Correct, Alva? So these are called as the Lewis spaces. So highly basic is which one? Ammonia, because nitrogen is a small element, 2 electrons are there. Bismuth is a larger element, and also 2 electrons are there. So density is a maximum case of nitrogen, right? Now, how to prepare this nitrogen? Remember some of the methods. Ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate. It will give sodium chloride and ammonium nitrite. Since ammonium nitrite is unstable, can decompose to give nitrogen gas and 2 moles of the water, and that is given here directly, right? Next one, ammonium dichromate can give nitrogen gas, chromium oxide, and water. Now to prepare pure nitrogen. So it is obtained from barium azide and sodium azide. Remember this here? Barium formula Ba2 plus, sodium formula Na plus, correct? And azide. Azide is a N3 minus. Azide is N3 minus. That's why the formula comes to be like this. Okay, right? So remember, for pure nitrogen. Clear? Next one. Now nitric acid reacts with the copper and zinc and other non-metals here, right? So we shall write the reactions now. Now we can think of the 2 types of the nitric acid. One is with the concentrated nitric acid, And other one is the dilute nitric acid. Dilute nitric acid, right? Okay. Now, copper reacts with the concentrated nitric acid and zinc reacts with the concentrated nitric acid. They give salt, that is a copper nitrate CuNO3, copper nitrate, copper valence, you know that it is a +2 state, nitrate is a NO3 minus. So here it gives zinc nitrate, so NO3 twice. Along with this, both the metals liberates nitrogen dioxide gas. This is the important student to be remembered. Okay. And along with that, water molecules, here also the water molecules, right? Now, with the dilute nitric acid, depends on the acid used, depending on the type of the acid, dilute and concentrated, that depends on the metals also used, depends on the other condition, reaction condition. Okay. Now, zinc reacts with the nitric acid, dilute nitric acid. It will give zinc nitrate, okay, as usual, zinc nitrate plus water. But here we'll get nitrous oxide, NO2 gas liberated. Remember, all these are gases, NO2, N2O. Now, copper again reacts differently with the nitric acid, dilute nitric acid. It gives a copper nitrate plus water, and we'll get nitric oxide gas. This you have to remember. Okay. Now, suppose we make use of the iodine. Iodine reacts with the concentrated nitric acid. And speak about the concentrated nitric acid, it will give HiO3, iodic acid, and nitrogen dioxide. Remember, whenever we make use of concentrated nitric acid, we end up with the nitrogen dioxide gas and plus water. Suppose I make use of carbon, carbon reacts with the concentrated nitric acid. So carbon getting oxidized to give carbon dioxide, okay, water molecule H2O and the nitrogen dioxide. Remember, whenever we have got concentrated nitric acid, nitrogen dioxide evolved. Okay, right? Clear? Okay. Now we'll proceed to the next reaction here. That is, now we have got Brown ring test. Now Brown ring test for that, okay, confirmatory test for nitrate radical. So what we do is we make use of the ferrous sulfate here, ferrous sulfate, and we make use of the concentrated sulfuric acid, add alongside so the test tube. So what will happen? Nitrate will be becoming NO. Okay. So here X is equal to +2 state for nitrogen oxidation number. Here for nitrate ion, oxidation number nitrate is equal to +5. So it is getting reduced. But ferrous ion is getting oxidized with ferric ions. So remember nitric oxide form. Then we are using actually ferrous sulfate. Part of the ferrous sulfate also becoming the complex with the aqua. Aqua is the ligand. What is ligand? It gives okay, hexahydrated the complex. It reacts with the nitric oxide. Now see here, one of the water molecule is getting replaced, correct? So NO comes inside. Total charge is +2 here. Remember here in this case, iron has got +1 state, unusual number. And this nitric oxide is in the form of NO plus state. That means this nitrogen from the NO has donated 1 electron to the ferrous ion. So ferrous ion becoming +1 state. +2 becomes +1 state. Okay. So this is the Brown ring composition here. Okay, right? Yeah, let's move on to the next one now. Now we'll go for group number 16 elements. Group number 16 elements. So NH2, NP4 is the configuration. We have got oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and polonium. So all these are called as the chalcogens here. Common oxygen states are +2, +4, mate +6. These are the common oxygen state. So now remember here, stability of the maximum oxygen state down the group decreases and stability of the +4 increases. What is the reason? Same reason, inert pair effect. Okay, right? Now, we have got a simple oxide. Oxides are different type. Acidic oxide, for example, carbon dioxide, one example. Then we can write silicon dioxide is the acidic oxide. Basic oxides, okay, generally acidic oxide from the P block elements. Remember, elements belong to P block elements. Basic oxide from the S block elements. S block, generally S block elements. So we have got like sodium oxide, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide are the examples. Amphoteric oxides are those which react to the both acids as well as the bases. So one of the example is the aluminium oxide. Neutral oxide like carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, all these are the examples. Okay, right? Okay. Now, we have got ozone as the powerful oxidizing agent. It oxidizes lead sulfide to lead sulfate. Here, lead sulfide to lead sulfate. Sulfide with the -2. Here, sulfur becomes here +6 charge. Okay, and O3 becomes O2. Similarly, iodide ion, aqueous iodide ion, aqueous potassium iodide, aqueous sodium iodide, in the presence of ozone, okay, becomes iodine, getting oxidized to iodine. Iodine oxidation number is 0, and water becomes hydroxide ion, and O3 becomes O2. Okay, so this is the oxidized nature of the ozone. Important one. Okay, generally asked in the board exam also, important for the CET also, right? Now, moist sulfur dioxide, there is a combination of sulfur dioxide along the moisture. Moisture is water, is a very good reducing agent. It can reduce ferrous to ferric to ferrous, and it will change the color of the potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate color is a somewhat purple color. Okay, like see here, ferric becomes ferrous. Sulfur dioxide is becoming sulfate ion. Water becomes H plus. Similarly, permanganate ion in the +7 state becomes a manganese +2 state. Sulfur dioxide becomes sulfate ion. Okay, right? So these are all memory oriented. So you remember again and again, read again and again, all these things. Okay, right? Next one, we have got sulfuric acid oxidizes both metal and non-metals, producing sulfur dioxide. Copper become copper sulfate. Copper 0 state, copper +2 state. And sulfuric acid with the +6 on the sulfur becomes sulfur dioxide with the +4 state, correct? So sulfur getting oxidized to give sulfur dioxide, carbon getting oxidized to carbon dioxide. And see here, in all these cases, when sulfuric acid reacts with the copper, will not get the hydrogen gas, but you get the sulfur dioxide gas. Okay, right? Now we'll move on to group number 17. We have got NH2 and NP5, correct? So we have got fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. Okay. Remember, fluorine is the strongest oxidizing halogen. Okay, it can oxidize any other halides. Any other halide means it can be chloride, bromide, and iodide. Okay, which is right below that fluorine. Similarly, chlorine is a very good oxidizing agent for the halides which are found below it, like bromides and iodides. So what will happen to these halides? Halides are getting oxidized. So chloride becomes chlorine, bromides become bromine, iodide becomes iodine. Similarly, bromine is a very good oxidizing agent only for iodide. So it becomes a bromide ion, and iodide ion getting oxidized to I2. So whereas I2 cannot oxidize any other halides. So it's the last one, least reactive in terms of oxidizing agent. Also remember, fluorine is a oxidizes, fluorine oxidizes water to the oxygen gas. Fluorine oxidizes, okay, water to the oxygen gas, and fluorine becomes hydrogen fluoride, getting reduced. Fluoride is the reduced form. Okay, right? Clear? Yeah. Now we'll see the reaction with the excess of ammonia, chlorine, halogen reacting with the excess of halogen. Okay. Ammonia reacts with the excess. So remember excess. In that case, we have got ammonium chloride and nitrogen. Sorry, excess of ammonia. So we have got excess of ammonia. So if excess of ammonia, so see here, nitrogen excess, nitrogen excess. Both the products are nitrogen in there. Then you have got excess of chlorine. So you get NCl3 and HCl. In both the cases, see chlorine product. Okay, right? Next reaction of the chlorine with the dilute and cold sodium hydroxide, hot and concentrated. So see the products in both the cases. Sodium chloride is common. Sodium hypochlorite, sodium chlorate, water, and common thing. Okay, see here. NOCl, NOA, NaOCl here. Here NaClO3 we get. Clear? Okay. Chlorine is a powerful bleaching agent. Bleaching action is due to the oxidation. See here. Chlorine in the presence of moist, okay, content, moisture. It gives HCl and liberates oxygen gas. Those are nascent oxidant reacts with the color substance, and their color substance become colorless. So this is called the bleaching action of the chlorine we have got, right? Okay. We'll proceed now. Next one, about the aqua regia. When concentrate HCl mixed with the concentrate nitric acid, the 3:1 ratio, it forms aqua regia, okay, which is used to dissolve noble metals like gold and platinum. See here, gold becomes in the presence of nitric acid and HCl. See this gold complex, AuCl4 minus. Oxidation state here, it would be, so X minus 4 is equal to -1, X is equal to +3 state. Correct, Alva? Okay, fine. Now here, platinum will be getting the complex, its complex, PtCl62 minus X oxidation of platinum, -6, so total is -2, X is equal to +4 state here, right? Okay. So here, Cl minus are the ligand. It forms the complex with the gold and platinum. Okay, right? Next one we have got for the group number 18 elements. So I'll write, yeah, got helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. So general configuration is a NH2 and NP6. See, total number electron, the valence shell 8. Octet is complete. Therefore, they are least reactive. So we cannot remove the electron easily. We can't add the electron easily. Already stable octet, except that the helium has got duplex structure. Okay, right? Okay. Remember some of the things. Argon is the most abundant noble gas. Radon is obtained as a decay product of radium-226. So radium-226 becomes radon and helium. See here, one radium will give two noble gases, radon as well as the helium. Clear? And helium is the smallest element in the noble gas series and has the lowest boiling point, about 4.2 Kelvin in terms of Kelvin of any known substance. So we have got in 1962, Neil Bartlett, you know, that conducted first reaction between xenon and PtF6 minus, right? So he prepared first compound. Okay, this is somewhat orange reddish color, somewhat red orange color. So he had an idea earlier. He had made to react to the oxygen. So he had O2 PtF6. So what he did was he was replaced oxygen by the platinum. So he got new compound Xe plus PtF6. So reason for this, okay, why? Oxygen was replaced by the xenon because oxygen molecule and xenon has the comparable, almost same ionizing potential. If oxygen can lose its electron to form O2 plus, xenon should be in a position to lose the then one electron. Okay, right? Yeah. Is that okay? Fine. Yeah. That's all in this video. Please do like, share, subscribe, and please also write down the comments. Thank you. Have a nice day.